All right. Just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight for Community Cooking with the Co-op, starring Jamar Ruff. I also want to thank our volunteer Zion for helping out with this every month. Much appreciated. If you guys want to find out more about our virtual and other programs and services, you can go to coosbaylibrary.org. You can click on the events. And I think Jamar might want to mention what's going on at the Co-op this month before we get started. What do you think?
Okay, so hi, I'm Jamar. I'm the outreach coordinator here at Coos Food Co-op, and we are celebrating our 50th anniversary here at the store. A lot of our community raffles and giveaways have come to a close just for this week. Tomorrow is our last day for the trivia that we're having in-house trivia, but we just ended our golden ticket raffle, which was today was the last day to get tickets into the store. We'll be announcing our winners tomorrow. And then we had a community-wide coloring contest. We've had some really good entries. I went up front earlier and I was like, oh, this looks gorgeous. Everyone painted differently, colored differently. So that was really awesome. But you can
Do we have a winner?
No, so the winners will be announced tomorrow. So
Cool.
I'm excited about that. But it's like, for me, it's like, how can you just pick one, you know? So we may have a surprise. I know for us, we're just glad that everybody participated. So if however way we can do it, everyone becomes a winner. So that is really good. And then next month is all about good soil.
Awesome.
So we'll have some giveaways as well. So.
One thing I forgot before you get started there, Jamar, I forgot to mute everybody. So if everybody can mute their mics, and then throughout, you can go ahead and unmute respectfully if you have questions for Jamar, or throw them in the chat and we'll feed the questions to Jamar. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Oh, I think I may have to unmute, right? Yes.
No, you're good.
Oh, really? Okay. So today, welcome. We are having Coos Head pasta tonight. Coos Head pasta. And it is a chilly day here on the coast. So what better day to have a warm bowl of pasta? So as you can see in the ingredients, you're gonna need, this recipe calls for 2 pots, 1 strainer, and 2 big spoons. So the first pot is one for our pasta sauce. So with that, we're gonna start building our base. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And Jamar's got his brand new earbuds in, so he can hear you better and we can hear him better, finally.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna start out with cutting. Let's start prepping our veggies. I know some of our chefs have their veggies already prepped, but we're gonna start out with onions, and that's gonna be our base. So in the recipe calls for a half a cup to 1 cup, depending on how you slice your onions. I have an example of how my onions are sliced because they cook down.
Thanks, Jamar. Everybody see that okay?
So we're going to start out with actually prepping all of our vegetables. In our pot, we can go ahead and start adding our olive oil. We're going to coat the bottom of the pan with olive oil.
Those buds sound so much better.
I'm just glad that I could actually do it. I am not tech savvy, so for me to actually do it, I was like, yes.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so I am going ahead on and prepping my onions. So it's a half an onions to a cup of onions. So if you want to do a half a cup, you can. I am going to do a full cup because I always feed our staff here at the co-op who's working tonight, so they get to eat tonight. And then the recipe also calls for chopped garlic. Now it's 1/4 of a cup of chopped garlic. And anytime I'm cooking with garlic, and I am putting it in my pan, I always start out with onions because garlic burns really quickly. So if I have like olive oil, then I'll add onions. Onions act as a good buffer for my garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop my garlic. But if you would like to, in a pan, in one of your pots, add your olive oil to that. Add your olive oil to it and turn it up on at least medium heat. And once it gets a little hot, you're gonna start adding your red onions to that.
Cool.
And if I'm moving ahead, please feel free to say, Jamar, hold on, I missed a step. The goal is that we all finish on time, right?
Yep. And we're not going anywhere until everybody finishes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Everybody getting started okay?
So I'm not going to do such a huge chop on the garlic. I am making sure that they are small chops, but be careful if you're working with a big knife. Be careful that you are mindful that you don't want to cut your hands. Okay. So the reason why I am not doing such a huge, leaving them super rough as far as the garlic is because I want an even amount of garlic instead of people getting like, whoever is eating with you, you don't want them eating a whole clove of garlic, So let's finally chop them.
Well, you don't like vampire breath?
Well, I'm a fan of garlic, but some people that I may be, having over, it's like, Jamar, what was going on with the garlic? And I found that in this recipe, it complements the dish a little bit better.
Cool. Now, which kind of pasta? Oh, go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, during COVID, the garlic helped you stay 6 feet apart from each other.
Hey,
love it. We all need to eat more garlic, I guess.
And the pasta that I am using today is the Montebello Fusilli pasta. But I did on the table, if you'll notice, I put different types of pastas as well. Because say, for instance, like, I'll show you. So there's chickpea pasta that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's power pasta as well. They're power protein pasta, but
what's that made of?
So, but it's green lentil spaghetti.
Oh, okay.
So this is green lentil, and then we have chickpea pasta as well. So
Awesome.
There's something for everyone,
Cool. Which one did you say you're going to use?
I'm using the Fusilli, Montebello Fusilli pasta.
All right.
And I'm using a full bag. Say, for instance, if you're cooking for yourself, by yourself. It is okay to have the amount of veggies that we're adding. But I have found that this is the best. Tomorrow, it'll be even better.
Yeah, definitely.
So while I have my onion sauteing, we are not going to rush the process.
Hey, there he is. I got to announce that my friend Dave, I haven't seen in 2 or 3 decades, just popped on from South Carolina. Great to see you,
Dave. Hey, welcome.
Thanks for coming. Go ahead, Jamar. Sorry.
Oh, no. We are still allowing our onions to saute. I have not added in my garlic yet because I feel like the recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup of chopped garlic. I think I'm going to add a little bit more because I've chopped it really small, really finely. I need somebody to lean on.
Jamar's always rocking the soul back there.
I know. That's what I was raised up on.
Maybe a little country.
Soul. Yeah, and a little country, and a little dolly. We love dolly,
especially the old stuff.
So now that my onions are they're starting to change colors. The purple ends up becoming a light purple. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to start adding my garlic in.
Cool. Hey, Jamar, Diana wants to know, is there a different flavor to the chickpea or green lentil pasta? And she agrees about Dolly.
Yes, there is. And also, the cook time is different. So as far as like the chickpea pasta, I'll just like cook it in, and al dente really means al dente with those, because if you cook it too long, it definitely can tell. They'll end up getting a little mushy, but there is a way to do it perfectly.
Yeah. Don't want mushy pasta.
No, you do not. Okay. So I have my onions, I have my garlic cooking. All right, and I'm gonna put the rest of my garlic to the side. And then, so the next thing is 1.5 cup of zucchini. So how I did my zucchini was that I always cut the end off, and I always hold it to the side, and I cut it in half, and I will show you how they look. So I cut them, the zucchinis like this, right? I cut them in half, and then what I do is one at a time, cut them finely. They look like crescent moons almost.
So you're cutting them real thin?
Not thin. I'm gonna show you the thickness
Cool.
of how mine is, and I try to keep them the same.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, you are welcome. So, that is smelling delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to add.
I think we might have a raised hand. Did you have a question, Debbie? You can unmute. Debbie, did you have a question? Here, I'm asking you to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Jamar.
How you doing?
I'm great. Hey, this is my first time actually being able to sit on my booty today. So I'm
Okay.
not cooking. But Jamar, if you would move the bags that are right in front of you, we could actually see what you're doing. Because
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those tall bags, we can't see you chopping and
Okay.
stuff.
we can't see that big smile and that, luster for loving to cook. Now,
Can
Thanks,
you see
Debbie.
me now?
yes, I can see you now. And I'm
Hold
going to
on.
enjoy this. I'm going to write down the recipe and cook it a different day. But today I'm resting, but I'm watching.
Hey,
And it
that
will be
works for me.
posted on our YouTube channel later, so you can always
Yes.
access it.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks,
thank
Debbie.
you. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing. So I'm adding my zucchini to my pot. So right now I have my onions, my garlic. I'm adding my zucchinis in.
Cool. Everybody add their zucchini.
Gonna stir those around. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my mushrooms. So the recipe calls for 4 to 5 buttons, Cremini mushrooms. Now, if you are a mushroom lover, you can add more. But I see that when I chop them and they become a little smaller, it ends up being way more than what I actually needed and intended for. And so this is how the size that I chopped mine.
Cool. Thank you. Everybody doing all right? Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Looking good. Is that more
I'm
Aretha?
excited. Of course, I have it on Aretha Franklin
Oh, okay.
Pandora station.
Can't go wrong
So
there.
while I have this pot going, what I'm gonna do is I am going to get my other pot and I'm gonna fill it with water. Fill it with water so that way I can go ahead and get that going and boiling.
Go ahead, Debbie. You're unmuted.
Okay, I'm good to go. I was just going to ask, is this a meatless dish? I didn't
Yes.
see the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay, so is it also low sodium?
So with the low sodium, I always, when it comes to salt, I always tell people to taste their food because most times people are always already going to put salt, and I never put in like direct measurements of how much salt it is because generally, with us cooking with different flavors and different seasonings and like herbs and things like that, you may not always need salt. But if you are looking into like low sodium aspects of things like that, for instance, if you're cooking with veggie stock, I always compost or I always save the scraps of things just so that way I can control how much sodium I actually am intaking.
That's perfect because I feed 5 seniors and I want to make sure
Uh-huh.
that their sodium stays low, their
Yeah.
vegetation stays high.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to make sure that we're staying on that. And once a week, I'd like to do a meatless dinner. And I think this might
Mm-hmm.
fit right into my repertoire, shall we say.
Okay. There you
Good
go.
question,
There
Debbie.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is the recipe calls for a half a teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, and a fourth teaspoon of pepper. And I haven't added the salt because what we're going to do is we're just going to add these seasonings in first.
So you had them all there on that plate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Always makes me happy. So I am allowing my mushrooms to cook down, my zucchinis to cook down, and we're just gonna let that sit right there.
Cool. Suzanne, it's good to see you guys in the kitchen tonight.
Come on, baby.
Is this where we dance?
Sorry. Hey, okay, so I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil in my pasta water.
Cool. Olive oil in the pasta water.
Yeah. And then like, where's my salt? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna salt my pasta water like the sea.
Cool. Do you have another question, Debbie?
No, thank you. I just don't know how to put my little hand down.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can do it physically, but
I think I got it. You're good.
Okay, thank you.
And so, like, a rule of thumb for me has always been when it comes time for me to start, making my pasta and getting things ready, I always build my base first because you don't want it to be where, okay, the pasta gets done at really, really early, and now you're still over here cooking your pasta sauce. So giving ourselves some time to where our base can build, and we're only cooking our pasta till al dente, and that means really that is going to cook really quickly, especially if we have it on a rolling boil. So right now we have in our pasta water we have a little salt. Suggestion that I've heard is salt your water like the sea, but like Debbie said, if you're going for low sodium, you may not have to add just a lot of salt. But I do have olive oil, so that way it stops the pasta from sticking.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I still thought, hold on, sorry. Gotta throw it over the shoulder. Okay, so now the recipe does call for Julienne tomatoes, and it calls for a specific 1 cup of Julienne tomatoes. And so I'm adding that into my mixer. And
Chopped?
once we add the tomato sauce over in it, you'll start seeing the tomatoes are gonna like puff up, and they're gonna take on a whole different feeling. I was talking to Deb, who is our bulk buyer, and she carries them in bulk. And so for me, I always grab things for bulk. Me and um Me and Paul were just talking about affordability when it comes to shopping. And so I always look at the bulk items because that's where I get the most bang for my buck. And I love a good sale. I love a good price when it comes to shopping. Got the best of my life. Okay. So right now I have in my pot, I have my mushrooms, my garlic, my onions. I have my seasonings. I have not added salt yet. I want to at least wait until we add our tomato sauce in, so that way we can taste our sauce first, and then if you need to add salt, you salt to taste.
Cool. Everybody with us? Anybody needs to slow down? Looking good.
Okay.
Shar, is it warm in Arizona?
Yes, it is. It was 72 today and sunny. The first week I was here, we had as much rain as they had all of last year. Everybody was saying, you brought this, you brought this from Oregon. But now it's warm and sunny every day. It gets cool at night. Like I wouldn't want to be out there without a jacket right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
We've
I
had-
like the scene behind you. Looks like the sun's going down.
Yeah, pretty fun to watch, huh? Yeah, it's very special.
Awesome. How you doing, Jamar?
I'm like really happy. It has been a busy week. The last couple weeks have been really busy, but the last week of the month is always a little hectic for me. And today was like a little, I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but I get to cook tonight, So I always look forward. When I get in the kitchen, it's like instantly mood changer. So
Awesome.
I'm happy about that. So I am constantly moving my veggies so that way nothing is sticking, but I am seeing how how my zucchinis, they are glowing. The mushrooms are starting to cook down, and the onions are still intact.
Do we want our zucchini glowing?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You want it to be glistening, and I will show you.
All right.
It looks happy.
Who's happier, the zucchini or you?
You know what? I think I am. I think I am.
Good.
Okay, so has anybody water started boiling for your pasta?
Jamie.
Jamie?
Can we add
One more time?
How's everybody's pasta doing? Not
We
pasta,
add-
but how's everybody water doing? We haven't
Sauce.
added the pasta in yet. Is it boiling?
One sec, Jamar. Joanne, sir, with Joanne, the green shirt, try again. We couldn't hear you.
we add wine to the sauce?
Could they add wine to the sauce?
If you would like to. Hey, the whole goal is to make this recipe your own. That's why we don't really give step by step. So that way, if you have ingredients and you're like, you know what, I don't like this pasta that Jamar suggested. I really like this one. That is cool. The whole thing is just getting a little bit more comfortable in the kitchen.
So if you like wine in your sauce, pour it in.
All right, we will.
Awesome.
That's
I like-
key, Joanne.
Cool.
So if your water has started boiling in your pasta, what we're going to do is go ahead and add our pasta to the water.
Go ahead and add the pasta to the boiling water. How long do you wait before you check your pasta, Jamar?
So what we're gonna do is typically when you're trying to get al dente, if you're putting it in a rolling pot of water, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
But what we'll do is we'll taste our pasta. So when we're 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, what we'll do is we'll pull out one and say, okay, let me taste you, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Because everybody's idea of al dente is a little bit differently, especially when it comes to pasta. So.
I'm a big fan of al dente.
Hi, Star Child. Sorry.
Star Child's in the store? Tell her I said hi.
Paul says hello. When Star Child walks in the co-op, I cannot not say hello to her. So with my pasta, what I'm going to do is go ahead and start not my pasta, but for my sauce, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my pasta sauce.
Cool.
I think I said sauce. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my pasta sauce. With the veggies, we're going to start adding our pasta sauce.
Awesome.
I always hit the bottom. I'm like, okay, got it. And I'm adding all of it. And on the recipe, if you see that we have not added our spinach in yet.
Cool.
That is coming.
Awesome.
So as you can see, while our sauce is getting ready, our pasta is already cooking. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. So that sauce can be like perfect when our pasta is ready to go in. Now what I'm gonna do is, because I've added my sauce, I'm gonna simmer it. So I have it on medium heat. You do not want to burn your pasta sauce. So if you're looking at your pasta sauce and you see that it is getting cooking a little bit quicker, please reduce your heat.
Yeah. Don't burn your sauce.
Don't burn your sauce, and do not burn you as well. Both of y'all matter. Oh.
Looks like everybody's doing pretty good.
And whenever I'm cooking, I try to sneak as many vegetables in it. Sometimes you can get carried away, but if I can find like a good balance, like we could have made like a pasta sauce with just the sauce and the onions and the garlic. But the zucchini are really good. I also got some eggplant because you can make it with eggplant. If you didn't want to do onions, you can swap out the onions for bell peppers if you would like to.
Eggplant sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Cindy's got her pasta spoon front and center.
Before I put on my
I thought I heard that one.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pasta over here because my hot plate, I have too much going on my hot plate. So what we do in the kitchen, we improvise, okay? I'm going to move it over here. And I have my pasta boiling.
Cool. You only have 2 burners.
Yeah. But that is okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try my sauce.
And?
I don't think it needs any salt.
Yeah?
What is everybody else thinking?
Everybody taste their sauce? Thumbs up.
Yeah, you don't need it, right? There we go. There we go. Now, while my pasta is boiling, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my spinach in. I'm gonna do a rough chop on my spinach, but I'm gonna add it in handful by handful. Now the recipe calls for 1 to 2 cups of spinach. So if you were gonna cook a small pot, you can do 1 cup. I did 2, and what I'm gonna do is I'll do a rough chop, and then I'll add my first bunch.
Was that a cup?
And yes, well, I did 2 cups. I
Oh,
did two
okay.
cups. But what I do is I rough chop my spinach, and then I work it in a little bit, and then I wait for it to get cooked down a little bit, and then I'll go in and add my second batch.
Oh, okay. Cool. What happens if you add it all at once?
Hey, you just keep moving. I just wanted to take my time because, it's pasta sauce, so there's no rush.
Yep.
So
Cool.
I have my second batch, and as that one, as you can tell, you add when you add your spinach to hot pasta sauce, it starts cooking down. You start stirring everything in. You're building your base,
Cool.
and so as that starts cooking down, I go in and I rough chop my second batch, my second handful.
Cool. Cup number 2.
And you are by rough chopping, you can see if you want to put it in bigger chunks. If you like it a little bit smaller, you are in control.
Your pasta.
This is your pasta. So now while we're stirring that in, make sure you are checking your pasta. And it is okay to pull one out and say, okay, this is just right. We put it to the side, okay?
Just one?
Well,
I got to check at least a handful to make sure it's right. But I love pasta.
mine is getting there.
Everybody checking on their pasta, I hope. Don't let that pasta get mushy.
Don't let your pasta get, because that's the thing is, like, while we want it al dente, is the cooking process doesn't stop. So we pull it out in enough time oh, Jamie, you have your hand up.
Yep.
Sorry to bother you. My pasta cooked super fast. I'm doing a gluten-free one, so I'm guessing that's it. I already have it drained because it's starting to get too far.
Sure.
What do I do with it once it's drained?
Go ahead and
Do I
add it into
to
your
the pot?
tomato sauce.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Jamie. Jamie's always ahead of us.
Always is on top of things.
Yes, she
But
is.
yes. So my spinach is cooking down and my pasta sauce.
I think if Jamar ever needs a break, we might have to hit up Jamie.
Huh?
So if you ever want a break, we might have to hit up Jamie.
Might have to bring Jamie into the kitchen.
There you go.
You guys know I'm moving in like 3 months, right?
I
What?
know. So we got to do everything that we can to keep you here. Hopefully things will change.
Where the heck are you going?
They haven't told us yet. We were supposed to find out on January 30th, and we still haven't found out. I'm guessing COVID, but still waiting. But we're definitely leaving probably the end of May. So
Bummer. Well, we'll miss you.
Okay, so everyone checking their pasta.
Looks like it.
Is okay. Is it at the perfect? If it's at the perfect consistency for al dente, which is not all the way mushy, not all the way done, you can pull it and then strain it. And what I do is sometimes I'll take like a cup of like a measuring cup, and then I'll take some of the pasta sauce, the pasta water out of it, because sometimes when we pour it into our pasta sauce, it might be a little too thick, but the pasta water will even out. Will
Oh,
even out the consistency.
good to know.
Well, only if you need it. Sometimes you may not need it.
Sure.
My pasta sauce, I'm not sure. Yes, it's up front.
Somebody asked where the beer is?
Yeah, one second.
That's all right. Go for it. For those who don't know, Jamar is cooking in the co-op and customers can see him cooking. So I think he had to help a customer for a sec here. That's
One
awesome. Kelly, how you doing tonight? Maybe she's not there.
I'm here, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hanging in there.
Good to see you.
Well, yeah, but hey, at least we're on audio.
Yes, definitely.
Now this is how my sauce looks.
Ooh, interesting. That's just the sauce, right?
Yes, this is just the sauce.
Nice. Looks hearty.
How's everybody's pasta doing? Once it gets to the right part, we're going to get our strainers together, and it is okay to let's go ahead and start straining our pasta and incorporating it into our sauce. As a rule of thumb, you can use a cup, a measuring cup, and just have that pasta water just right beside, just in case you may need it, okay?
Cool. Jamar, you helping another customer?
Oh, no.
I'm just messing with you.
I have a cooktop going. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. I am adding in my pasta. Oh, okay. Hey.
What happened?
Now I am incorporating them.
You have to do garlic bread with it too.
One more time?
Here you go. There's this.
So you have to do garlic bread with it.
Oh, yeah, garlic bread. That'd be good.
Garlic bread.
That sounds good.
So I ended up not needing any pasta water. I mean, it is the perfect consistency.
Nice.
Oh.
So you,
What did you say?
hold on, I think they have a, oh, I thought somebody had a question, but they disappeared. Someone have a question? I think we're good.
So I'm going to show you what my pot looks like.
Cool. Wow, that looks hearty. Yum. Nice.
Now, when it comes to plating up,
Get your camera.
I'm going to, what did you say?
I said, get your camera.
What I'm going to do is I have grated Parmesan cheese as just the topping. And what I'm going to do, and a part of our cooking class is eating with your eyes, right?
Of course.
So as you plate up, you take a photo, you send it to Paul or myself, and we'll be posting them on our social media page.
Definitely.
But what I found is when I have my guests come over and eating at my table, I want them to eat with their eyes. I want them to be full before they even pick up a spoon or a fork. So I think of every aspect. I think of making sure if I put on a plate, I'm wiping around the edges. If I'm putting it in a bowl, I'm making sure that the bowl is pretty nice. This is a leaf bowl. So
Nice. If you guys don't know Jamar, it's all about the aesthetics just as much as it's about the food.
well, you want your food to look good,
Definitely.
You want your guests to be like, you know what, I'm coming back.
That's right.
And I always mix up my pasta because I want my guests to get everything. I want them to get a little bit of the zucchini. I want
Yeah.
them to get a little bit of the mushrooms, a little bit of the spinach. And as you can see, the spinach, by us putting it in step by step, it is incorporated throughout our whole pasta dish.
Nice work, Jamie.
Nice work.
It does look like she has some bread there with it.
And I am just
Jamar, we're bringing half of it over to our neighbor. So, and it looks great.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We're
If
sharing.
you can, send us pictures, Jackie.
Yes,
Okay,
please,
will do.
Jackie.
Okay.
So this is how mine looks.
Beautiful. And I thought the spaghetti I had for lunch was really good.
Hey, you can come on down. Now, is everybody at the plating part? Because we're not done and we want everybody to finish at the same time. There's
Yeah,
no chef left behind.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
I should mute.
How you guys doing, Suzanne? Good. Cool. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
How is it, Jamie?
Oh,
Yeah. You got the good dance on that one.
hey, there we go. There we go. So
Thanks, son.
I had salt as a standby. The only thing I salted today was my pasta water.
Cool.
Hey. So, any questions? Any questions?
Anybody have any questions finishing up or just in general?
Please make sure, I know everyone is in a hurry to eat, but make sure you snap a photo and send it our way, okay?
Yeah, you can always send it later, but just take the pic now.
I already sent it to both of you.
Oh, you did?
Awesome.
Okay, good job, Cindy.
Actually, just from the pan. I haven't plated it yet.
Cool. You can send us one of
There we
those too if you
go.
want.
There we
Okay.
go.
Thanks, Cindy.
Yeah.
She's always good about sending. Bye, Joanne. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Yum. Oh, no, that looks great. That looks great.
Good
They
work.
can hear me.
Here's Alex's.
Yeah.
Nice work, Alex.
Nice work, Alex.
Awesome job. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
I was
Thank you.
good.
That was fun.
Bye.
Thanks, Jamar. It's delicious.
Thanks for letting me watch everybody. I'm so happy to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you, Shar. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jamar.
Hey, you
Yeah.
are welcome. Thank
Good.
you. Hopefully, we will be seeing y'all this time next month.
Sir, what's your name? We know it's not Joanne.
I'm Steve. I'm
All
her
right.
husband.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Do you know what you're doing next month, Jamar?
Oh, what did you
He
say?
hasn't told me yet.
Oh,
I said, do you know what you
so
you
next
know
month,
your next
I have the title. It's going to be a Coos quinoa bowl.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
yum.
I worked up the recipe yesterday, so y'all will get it tomorrow. But yeah, it is definitely, you know, quinoa is something that people tend to forget about. It can always be a little bit intimidating when it comes to how do I cook this, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, it's gonna be delicious.
Awesome.